Well, when was it?
Oh, 10. No, 11 years ago now.
No.
Afraid so.
That long?
Pretty much.
Can't be. No. No, he's right, it was.
I was not a lad, only 17.
He didn't tell me that at the time.
I got off the tube at Tottenham Court Road, walked down Oxford Street, turned left onto Soho Street, down through Soho
I
Square.
don't know the sat nav, Matthew. I'm sure they know the area.
It was a balmy summer evening,
Balmy?
as in pleasantly warm.
Well, yes, I suppose that too.
Tables all over the pavements, ponytailed media types pitching film scripts and tramps shouting, some rather lost American tourists anxiously marching their children away from the scene of all those sex shops.
And then, of course, the promised land.
Old Compton Street.
So, as you can imagine, he was nervous.
Oh, petrified. But totally excited too. Sixth Form College had broken up for the summer that very afternoon and I hopped straight on a train.
From the suburbs?
Yes. Babe too, big in the city.
He walked into my bar.
He was working behind the bar.
Yes. Can I just clarify that when I say my bar, I don't mean that I owned the bar.
Yeah, he was just a barman.
Exactly.
So he says to me, "What can I get you, Tiger?"
I did.
You did, yes. I like that, Tiger. Look at him smile.
I fixed him his drink.
And I just stood there,
Like a lemon.
taking the occasional wincing sip from this rather ghastly drink.
He was shaking.
And then he said to me, "First time, is it?"
He didn't know what I meant.
"First time on the scene, I mean," he said.
He said yes.
And then he winks at me and says, "Does your mother know you're out?"
And he blushed.
I did, it's true.
He turned bright puce and I said, it's okay.
He leaned in close to me, very close. So close I got an
Oh,
erection.
no, they don't need to know that.
No, of course not. And he whispered something very odd to me.
Odd? It was not odd, it's...
Well, no, of course it's not odd, but in the context at that time.
I asked Matthew what we call the magic question.
And it was the last thing I expected him to say.
He turned deathly pale.
From puce to pale.
He didn't know what to say.
And then his customers arrived, and it was bizarre because he suddenly switched to being all smiles and smutty innuendos.
Yes, but once I'd served them, I turned back to Matthew and said, so, what's the answer then?
Did I say anything?
You couldn't speak.
And that was the start. That was the beginning of my involvement with Dan and with Dawn Rescue. So I've got a lot to thank Dan for.
Oh, shush.
He saved my life.
Oh, Matthew, please, no.
No, it's true. I mean, if it wasn't for you, there I was on the verge, on the cusp of entering into this so-called community, and you stopped me just in the nick of time. It's true, you rescued me.
And of course, once I'd rescued Matthew, it was vitally imperative that Matthew got out there and started rescuing others in the same predicament.
Yes, and that's the thing about the work that we do here at Dawn Rescue. For those of you watching who are interested in joining, it's vitally important that you get them when they're young.
Oh yes, no use once they passed a certain age. Too late, you've lost them. So he'd go into these clubs.
Oh, if they let me in.
Of course they usually would. And once he was in, he would seek out other guys of his own age.
Or even younger.
Or even younger, yes. Because what we found was, young guys really like to go with other young guys.
Yes. You'd go in, you could always spot one.
Oh, there's always at least one.
And they always look so terrified.
And lost.
And alone.
Yes, but excited too. There's that hint of dangerous excitement in their eyes.
Yes, like tourists in a strange country.
They've longed to visit.
Years of adolescent angst have been leading up to this one pivotal moment. But tonight, they've finally summoned up the courage.
They've hit the yellow brick road, they've arrived.
They've gone through customs, so to speak.
They've had their passports stamped, so to speak.
They're about to, so to speak, sit the citizenship test.
Which is where we come in. Because, of course, finally they're so delighted that someone is talking to them.
Yes, you buy them a drink.
You get chatting.
You lightly stroke their forearm.
And then you lead them to the toilets.
You go into a cubicle.
And lock the door.
But sometimes you can't lock the door, can you? Because the lock's been broken.
Yes, why is that? Why do some people go around breaking the locks on toilet cubicle doors?
I know, so you have to stand there holding the door shut with one hand, don't you? Which is always a real pain, isn't it?
Oh, what I always prefer to do is stand with my back to the door.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Yeah, well, whatever works best.
So you lean in close to them.
Or pull them in close to you, if in my case your back is to the door.
And they always look so nervous.
Yes, but excited too.
Yes. You can just smell the excitement, can't
They
you?
positively stink of it.
And they look at you with these eyes full of
Pornography.
And you put your mouth right up against their ear so your lips are lightly touching it. and you whisper into their earhole the magic question.
Do you know why the blood of Jesus poured out of him on the cross?
And you watch them crumble.
They burst into tears, don't they?
Often, but not always.
Not always, no, but usually they start to blub.
It's all too much for them.
It's the last thing they expect.